Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mystic Journey's Wayback Wednesday episode with HB and Nerdy. Hopefully, Derek will be here in
Oh,
just a minute. He's having
yeah,
some technical difficulties.
he's having internet problems, yeah. But we'll see if he hops in a little bit. No pressure. We're all doing our best. So yeah, I think we're on chapter 15 of Wayback Wednesday. Pretty sure it's about perfection.
Yes, sir.
There's also a little section between week 14 and 15. Maybe we'll cover that on a different day. Just a couple little. We'll share this one. It's just a little spark. Always laugh when you can is cheap medicine. And the next page, I think we can save that one for another day. Make a day out of it. But would you like to read, or would you like me to read today?
Oh, I can read it.
All right, cool. I think this is a really good one.
It says perfection. There's a quote here from Jared Lichten. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name. Imperfection action. Good.
No, I wouldn't have done better myself. I would have butchered it too. You got close, I'm sure.
Or Lichten, something like that. Imperfect action is better than no action at all. Recently, I participated in an improv session with some members of my online community. The facilitator walked us through several exercises that were meant to spark creativity and help us shift into brainstorming mentality. The instructions for one exercise was to make a silly face and then call out someone's name. That person would then copy the silly face, then make a new silly face, and then call out another person's name. It was going smoothly until my name was called. I copied the person's face that called my name and then realized it was my turn to make a new silly face for someone else to copy. And then I froze. I couldn't come up with a great silly face. I just sat there on video, not moving at all. I've not had much practice at making silly faces in a while, and I didn't know what to do. Finally, the facilitator paused the session and said, Patty is trying to be perfect, but there's no such thing for this activity. Any face you come up with is exactly what we need. Sometimes you just need to take action, whether you're starting a new project, beginning an exercise routine, or learning a new skill. Imperfect action is better than no action at all. You may not know exactly what to do, but any action or step you can take it will often provide the momentum you need to get started and keep going. The worst thing you can do is stay stuck. One of my favorite quotes by Eckhart Tolle is, any action is better than no action, especially if you have to be stuck in an unhappy situation for a long time. If it is a mistake, at least you learn something, in which case it's no longer a mistake. You remain stuck if you learn something. If you remain stuck, you learn nothing. Today's prompt is, there something that you are waiting to take action on when you know exactly what to do rather than taking imperfect action? What might happen if you take one small imperfect step rather than waiting on perfection?
It's a good one. I find that one really, really relatable. So I constantly deal with like an imposter syndrome, because I'm not perfect, and I need it, and I like to think I'm a perfectionist, and I try to get things right, but I get things wrong all the time, and that oftentimes prevents me from taking action, and I should be taking action. It reminds me of a fortune cookie I have. I saved a little fortune from it a long time ago, and it says, I would rather attempt something great and fail than attempt nothing and succeed.
Yep.
And Yeah, as long as you're doing your best and you're taking action, I think it's kind of hard to mess up. And as long as you're learning something from it, you didn't make a mistake. You're just learning. And I think that's all of us every day. We're not really screwing anything up as long as you're learning from it.
Yep, 100%.
Well, let's ask the chat that question again. Is there
Is there something you are?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
Is there something you are waiting to take action on when you know exactly what to do rather than taking imperfect action? What might happen if you take one small imperfect step rather than waiting on perfection?
Yeah, the what might happen. I think that's the big thing everyone worries about.
Yeah, it looks stupid or whatever.
That's one of my biggest fears. I don't want people to think I'm stupid because that's my biggest struggle most of my life. I'm like, I don't know, just the imposter syndrome stuff. Like I'm not good enough.
Yep. No one here is perfect though. We all have different things. What one person can make fun of you for, you can pick out something in their closet too.
Yeah. Oh, I was meaning to ask HB. I saw this morning when I was watching the rest of Tea with Pops. I noticed you mentioned your birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
Is it a big secret, or can you tell us?
No, it's at the end of next month. I mean, I don't want to tell people, but yeah, it's at the next month.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it'll be at the end of next month.
Sweet.
Or sorry, at the end of this month rather.
Oh. All right. Fair.
Yep. It's not a big deal. I don't make a big deal of it.
I do the same, but I think everybody likes to be celebrated every once in a while. I think you deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably be out in the woods by that point anyway, so be no way to get in touch with me. So yeah. But yeah. This is the end of this month.
Well, if I know where you're at, maybe I can make a point to go foraging over there.
Heck yeah.
It's one of the things I've been doing these last few days is I've been scouring and searching iNaturalist, trying to find the most underrepresented parts of Colorado for DNA sequencing of mushrooms. And you're in the exact location where I want to go searching for stuff right now.
Yeah.
There's hardly anything up there in that region.
Yeah, I've been scouting around looking for stuff. Yeah, there's no mushrooms, but yeah.
Just a little too soon. How's it going, Laura and Lynette Ono and Ray Cook? I'm glad you guys could join us.
Cheers, everyone.
Also, Oreo and Mike Barabal already said good evening to you guys, but I'll say it again. It's different, hearing it instead of reading it. You too, D. Anderson. I'm glad you're here, buddy. Glad you're here. Even if you're not in, video chat with us, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, man, this book has been really, really good. This Wayback book. It's really. Who would have thought that I just randomly walked into a thrift store one day and found these books?
Yep, about on week 16 next week, and it is When You Don't Know What's Next.
When you've exhausted all possibilities, remember this: you haven't.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a good one. So you know what? I almost forgot it's Wednesday. Anybody wants to? I know it actually has some sound today. I know those last few months. Clue number 1. This is made in the exact same city. It was invented in this exact same city as last week's item that was in my can. I know that's going to be a more of an obscure clue. But if anyone was paying attention to last week and what was in my can, you get a heads up. Same place that was invented, this was invented too. Clue 1. Oh man, dude, going out in the woods. Do you have any plans on where you want to go check out?
No.
Okay. I'm sure it's a lot of space available right now. You planning on maybe working your way closer to Denver or the Springs?
I don't have a car, so probably not. Yeah, I'm way up in the mountains. There's gonna be no way I'll be able to make it down there. Being a backpack full of shit.
With your bike?
Well, can we just listen to your back?
Listen to my can. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat here. Oh, and what I'm giving away is I'm going to give away a 3.5 grams of Coker's Colombian. Coker's my Mike Coker, my friend, found this strain while he was out in Colombia, and I've just been growing it in one of my tubs, and I have some extra laying around. So whoever wins this contest is going to get some Coker's Colombian and the now becoming scarce Swedish scrubber with the mushrooms. These ones, I say they're becoming scarce because at my local Dollar Tree, they ran out of these ones. And they've only got SpongeBob and the Smurfette ones, not the ones with mushrooms, because everybody wants the mushrooms. You got to get it. You got to get your mushrooms, guys. Nuts and bolts, Skittles, no and no. Neither Skittles or nuts and bolts.
What was your guess?
Ray Cook guessed Skittles, and then Mike Barabal guessed
your
nuts
clue?
and bolts.
Your clue?
Oh, my first clue is that it's invented in the same place that the item that I had in my can last week was invented. So I just wanted to give everybody anyone that was here last week, they will kind of have an advantage. If you know what I had in my can, you can look up where it was from, and that gives you a head start. Nope, looks like Derek's here soon. Maybe. We'll see. I don't see his picture yet, but I heard him. Self-tappers, no. Baby Ruth, no. That was a good guess, though. No, Mike. Does that sound like Baby Ruth? Oh,
Not
man.
really.
It's a tricky one. I want it to be too easy. I got to make sure it lasts for the whole hour. What's up, Pacers? Good to see you.
Cheers. Thank you guys for joining us.
Another clue. I would consider it, or it is by definition. Mike Barabal's getting close. It is by definition a type of sugar plum. You know, it sounds obvious. Like it's gonna be So easy, but like, no, it's not. So clue 1, it was invented the same place as the item I had in my can last week. Clue 2 is it is a type of sugar plum. Not gobstopper, not jelly beans. Man, I do like Skittles though. Saltwater taffy. Man, some saltwater taffy in my can. I thought about it. They have some strawberry banana in the dollar store. Laura says Staples. Nope, not Staples. Oh man. The things I do for this show. Mike says sugar daddies. Nope, not sugar daddies. It's gonna need to change to live chat instead of top chat. So the fact that I said it's a form of sugar plum, obviously it's edible. It is food. You can eat it, and I encourage people to eat it. Well, in the meantime, what you snacking on tonight, HB? Anything?
No, I'm just drinking lemonade.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah, I bought some tincture in. I'm barely feeling great, so just drinking lemonade.
Sounds pretty good though.
I don't got any snacks or anything.
I'm working on some candy cigarettes, as they call them. Well, they have to call them candy sticks nowadays because you can't be encouraging kids to be smoking on those, puffing the reefers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't be encouraging anybody. Can't be a bad example.
You bought those or you made them?
No, I bought them. It's a Batman versus Superman situation here. Not licorice, not nerds. Speaking of nerds, I think once I'm finished upgrading to my final form, I think that form is cluster. I am a nerd cluster is my final form. Ray Cook says cherry sours. Nope. But nerds clusters is pretty awesome. I think the cluster is better than the rope. It's just a little easier and I think you get more.
I was on them for a minute. I quit eating them. Got tired of them.
Had to turn your life around.
They're good.
Yeah.
Just kind of gets redundant.
Yeah. Yeah, these are basically the same thing that Necco wafers or conversation hearts. It's basically pastillage, I think. Gloria says, I'd get the candy cigs when I was a little nerdy. They put powder on them so you could blow out a puff of smoke. These ones don't have a hole. Oh, that'd be so cool if they were stayed true. I do remember they used to have like a little red spot painted on the tip too. And the boxes literally looked like packages of cigarettes. But that's what made it fun. Like, oh man, I'm being so what's risque because I got these candy cigarettes. Oh man. Bottle caps? Nope, not bottle caps.
Kids used to smoke Smarties in school whenever I was in school.
They'd snort them or smoke them?
Smoke them.
Interesting.
You just grind. You can like take the pack and just like wiggle it around and get the powder to come out, and you can just like smoke it.
Huh. Just inhaling sugar?
Yeah. Imagine how good that is for your lungs.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Kids for you.
Yeah. I was watching Monday's show, and I had this funny thought, and I was like, if George Carlin would have started a church, this is what it would have been like.
What do you mean?
George Carlin, he's just very
The comedian?
yeah. He'd fit in with the T Crew totally. I think he'd probably take it as he'd understand, what we're doing, and it's like whatever, like that. It's all just none of it matters. It's all just but it does. It does matter, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But there are definitely people that we look up to that would probably not be with it. I was thinking about this the other day. Like Terrence probably wouldn't vibe with what we're doing at all. It's like speaks against this whole philosophy about how religions and gathering of spirituality and shit like that is more of a detriment to the world than it is for positivity. So
the way that it has been traditionally, yes, I agree. But I like to think that Terrence might be open to the idea of like people being able to redefine things for themselves because it's not structured. And I think that's kind of the point, and that's why we're being. I think we're so different, and what's the word?
But anybody could say you're in it for money or fame or,
If that was the case, yeah, no, we're not doing it for money, obviously. Obviously.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, definitely doing it to try to make the world a better place. I don't care what.
Well, I agree with what you're saying. I would probably agree with that, but I think there would be people out there who would be like, "Nah, what you're doing is wrong," and it's just their fucking opinion, man.
Exactly. This reminds me of the Big Lebowski,
Yeah,
that's
I've
like
done that to somebody once or twice. Still, yeah.
Like that's like your
Don't think,
opinion.
yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
seriously, totally. Like that's the way you feel.
Yeah, it doesn't make it true, right? I've got my opinions, and so does everybody. That's what kind of makes. I think that's what makes what we're doing so great. Is that we're all, of course, we're trying to make that space. Everyone's gets to define things their way. Candy cane, Mike? Nope, no candy cane, no sweet tarts, no bottle caps, no bubble gum, no gummy clusters.
I guess bottle caps last time.
Yeah, I had bottle caps a couple times back, like a few weeks back. If and nobody can remember what I had last week, I actually opened up my can and they were still there. And even though it was made in the same location as Butterfingers, you would never guess it based off of the name. The name is extremely misleading. Not Bit of Honey.
He's got a list somewhere. He just keeps running through it.
Yeah,
his head or something.
Thinking about every kind of candy. Yeah. It's a big club and you're not in it. Ray Cook says. I know we have that weird delay. He's probably responding to something we already said. Just don't know what. That's okay. Yeah, sounds like
Magic Conch Club, probably.
Yes, exactly. Dude, I'm telling you, I want to figure out a way to make one of those by hand. Just find like some sort of conch somewhere and figure out how to record a voice. That would be so funny. Gotta get one of those pull strings, like from like a Woody doll.
They have recorders like that you can put inside of theirs for like when babies are born, stuff like that.
Oh wait, I think Laura's on the right track. Not Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, you already had those.
Say what?
I just saw you with those. Didn't you already have them?
The Tootsie Rolls already did, I think. Well, did I?
Mm. No, the other one.
I don't know if that Tootsie Rolls
Yeah.
on my can yet.
The one that Laura just said.
Laura just got it. Boston baked beans. So I've got Boston baked beans in my can, and they are they're a sugar plum.
Essentially, yeah.
So sugar plum is basically any nut or dry fruit that's been pan coated in, candy coating. So, yeah, Boston baked beans. Funny thing about it is, a lot of people say, "Oh, they're not beans. They're not beans." I'm like, well, peanuts are legumes, so they are beans. Dang it, they're literal beans. But the reason they got their name is because they look like the the molasses, dish with like pinto beans in it. But yeah, they're good. I like them. I think it tastes like those peanut patties. There's the ones like Kim's grandma's recipe, peanut patty recipe. That's what they taste like.
Yeah, it's like a mixed text thing.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from Spanish culture. That's what those patties are originally.
It's even the right color. That's the same color as like those Texas peanut patties. But yeah, it was invented in Chicago, not Boston. And yeah, so Laura, I'm going to send you some Coca Colombian, probably a sticker, and some of the Swedish scrubber. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Laura.
Thanks for playing my game. So now I want to ask the chat, who would win, Superman or Batman? It's played out in comics too many times. But it pretty much goes one way most of the time. Oh, I've got Nurse Cheer, Reason Pieces.
Cheers.
Coming in. So what would you like to do on Friday besides reading 4 agreements? You got any ideas? You want to do pick something from your list you had?
What do you mean?
You had some Aesop fables. I thought, you had some good stuff on that list.
Yeah, I still got them on my phone. I could just read a couple off.
Mm-hmm.
I read a couple on Monday.
We could always stay up late or something like that, just hang out. I don't know. Sweet. I haven't been seeing enough of you guys. I miss you. These last few days, I've been super busy, just focused on mycology.
So we can always do another movie or show or whatever. Hopefully that second comedy part comes out. That'd be nice. I forget when the day is.
Cherry Mash is a good one. Oh, Laura says Batman. Yes, Batman wins. Derek got it right too. That's right. That is the correct answer. But the reason why I think is often a lot of people have different opinions as to why Batman wins over Superman, but I don't know. I think Batman's just simply smarter and a little more ruthless. Superman's got a big heart, and Batman comes from a dark place. Superman doesn't. But Mike Barball, he's got kryptonite. Superman doesn't have a chance. Batman wins.
Who'd you say wins?
Batman wins. Because he has kryptonite. And he comes from, he's willing to do the things, he's willing to go that extra.
Superman has kryptonite. Or, well, yeah, I guess, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you're right.
Show him a little kryptonite, he just falls on the ground. He can't do anything. Laura, it's like Batman is sexier. George Clooney, maybe. How's it going, Herbie? Good to see you, man. Laura's thinking about Batman Returns, I think it was. Yeah, with who played Robin in that one? That was the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. That was such a good one. I did like that one, but a lot of people. What? Chris O'Donnell played Robin. Mm-hmm. I don't know who that is. Val Kilmer. Derek said, "Yeah,
oh, shit.
I think Alicia Silverstone was in that one too." Yeah. But yeah, I've always been a Marvel guy instead of DC. It's just it's a little more wholesome, I guess. Not so dark, and I'm more of like a super sunny, lighthearted guy. I like Spider-Man. He's always like joking and stuff whenever he's fighting the bad guy.
Right.
But there's also a couple Spider-Man who are dark, and they are my favorite ones because they cover those topics that those other Spider-Man don't cover.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I grew up, so that's familiar to me. That's my favorite superhero whenever I was a kid was Batman. Spider-Man too, for that matter. So it's a little bit of both. Yeah, I feel like those are the things that people are afraid to face, and for me, it's like my life.
Yeah, I think that's DC big time. DC really, really focuses on that aspect of like being a superhero and just life in general. Is everything's
normal, it's human.
Of fear.
Because anybody got a prim and proper life like most of the superheroes that are portrayed,
Right.
Everybody has adversities.
Joe over here.
It's not like the Suicide Squad.
He's literally that guy that played Robin. Who do you mean you don't know who that is? I love it. I love trolling people sometimes with stuff like that. It's like I'm a total nerd, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, oh man, like. Let's see who. T. Anderson said Poison Ivy. I'm like, okay, Uma Thurman. All right. See, I'm just the stereotypical nerd. Like, why would I need to know who Chris O'Donnell is? Uma Thurman. I need to know that. That's important. Alicia Silverstone. Yeah, that's important. It's.
Name doesn't impress me much. I have no idea who any of those people are. Not a single one of them.
Schwarzenegger, yeah, I got to know who that guy is. It's a nerd thing. Nobody cares about George Clooney or Chris O'Donnell. I'm sorry, I'm just trolling them. My wife's giving me a look over here. Oh, all right. Well, thanks for stopping in, Herbie. Good to see you. George Carlin quote, Ray Cook says, I don't know which quote. We should find a good George Carlin quote. He's had a lot of good stuff. Just you ever listened to George Carlin, his stand up?
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I first started doing psychedelics.
A lot of people thought he went really, really dark, but I just think he just went just steered hard toward the truth, and people didn't really like it.
Yep.
It's hard to swallow.
Yep. Yeah, because it's the one that always sticks out in my head is him talking about PTSD, essentially, about how they used to have different names for it, shell shocked and fucking all the whatever different terms.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just putting lipstick on a pig,
Yeah.
trying to make it more and more tame so people could swallow the pill a little bit easier than call it really what it is, what it actually is. Trauma of war.
Oh man, Joe's still giving me crap. Yeah, well, my wife would know who those guys are, you know. Dawn of Justice, Batman versus Superman. I haven't seen it.
The Wolverine and Deadpool was pretty good.
That I want to watch that one. I have not seen it yet. It looks good.
It wasn't amazing or anything, but it was pretty good.
There were a few jokes that I saw that just really, really tickled me, like the Chris Evans joke where he makes fun of himself. Like, well, he kind of they're breaking the fourth wall, but they're not breaking the fourth wall. Like you expect him to be Captain America, but instead he's like, you know, the Human Torch because that's who he was in the original Fantastic Four movie that they remade like 3 or 4 times or something, which is just kind of like a joke in the fan community. Yeah, they're never going to get Fantastic Four right.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. I'm a big movie guy. I haven't seen a lot of movies. Like 9 times out of 10, if you ask me if I've seen a movie, like.
And how about the Spider-Man movies? You like those?
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I seen one. Probably since I was a kid, but fucking whatever the dude we were talking about the other week. Forget him. You said you didn't like him as much.
Which one? The Tobey Maguire?
Tobey Maguire.
He's fine. Those were the first Spider-Man movies that came out, and I loved them. It's just little tiny things that I didn't like the fact that his web would come out of his wrist instead of like a device that he invented. I'm like, he's an inventor. He's supposed to have that, and it's supposed to be like. But yeah, anyway, just little things like that.
No, I think I did see the Tom Holland one whenever it first came out. The very first one with him in it, whatever one that was.
Civil War. That was Avengers Civil War was his first one. And I was nerding out hard because
maybe it was. I can't remember.
Seeing him in the trailer, I was just nerding out big time because I was like, his voice is perfect. He's doing everything perfect. Like this kid is Peter Parker. And like they finally got somebody that was age appropriate and someone that could actually talk the right way. And I was just really, really excited to see it in theaters. It didn't disappoint.
Yeah, it's just not my style.
Yeah, and then the newest one, which is kind of
I fall asleep to like documentaries and shit, dude. I'm a nerd in that aspect. Like trying to learn about life and science and evolution and shit like that.
You prefer to watch those kinds of documentaries?
Yeah, over anything. Like I feel like I'm wasting my time watching something that's not real. Whenever I'm watching a movie that's not real, or if it's not like a comedy thing or something like that. Like I can watch movies like that. Like we were watching Avatar. That's a fucking sick ass movie to me because that was like a deep meaning, a really cool concept. But
yeah,
like most of the movies, I'm just like, not my flavor.
You just described my sentiments about books.
Yeah, it's the same way.
If it's not not like an educational or technical book on how to do something, it's just a fantasy book, and I'm like, I don't care. I do not care about fantasy books at all.
If I had a dime for every single time one of my friends tried to come up to me with a plate full of anime and be like, "Hey man, you should try this," and me be just like, "All right," and then try to scarf it down and be like, "I just don't like it, man." Like, fucking, I've done that so many times because it's that same aspect of me. It's like, it's not that like I don't understand it, or it's not that I don't like, I'm not able to follow the storyline. It's just like I'm not getting anything educational out of it. So it's like, I don't need the emotional shit.
When it comes to anime, about half of it, I start watching it because they insist. And I'm like, okay, it has its moments where I'm like, there's those little moments of like the moral of the story, you know, like I'm like, that one really, really struck me. That was really, really good. That was really, really well thought out. But for the most part, most of the story was predictable and garbage.
Yeah, 100%. And then they have to have a musical scene. They have to have a love scene, and they have to have that like every single race of human being in every scene, or else they're not being politically correct. It's like It says movies are different now than they used to be. Whenever people could just like have free reign to have creativity and do whatever they wanted to do in the early 2000s.
Sure.
Now it's like all has to be really controlled. It's just like music industry. Like we're not hearing the music we want to hear. We're hearing the music they want us to hear.
Right. How's it going, Mello? Good to see you. Mello just popped in. And I don't think I missed anybody. I think we all know Hulk ain't losing that one, Mike Baraball. What did he say about the Hulk? What? Did I miss it? Oh, yeah. Batman and the Hulk. Who will win? Yeah, the Hulk wins. That one, had to think about that one just for a little bit, just because the Hulk always wins. There's the Hulk always wins. I think that's kind of like a rule. I don't think there's ever been an exception. Like there's like he temporarily loses here and there, but like he always gets mad enough, or he gets powerful enough to where he always wins. Joe was like, I just so wanted to say Batman. I was like, no, I don't know. Like I honestly like. There's a version of the Hulk that's like from the future. He's they call him Maestro. He's like the 200-year-old Hulk because he's defeated all of the other superheroes and he's the last one standing and he's running the world kind of. But yeah, he beats everybody. Hulk's the last one standing always. No matter what universe no matter who he's fighting from what universe, Hulk wins. Nurse said, has anyone seen Magnolia, 1999? Saw it last night, and that was very interesting. You seen that?
I don't like that. I don't think I've heard of that. Maybe I have to look it up.
Magnolia, 1999. Is that about a serial killer, like the Black Magnolia?
It's got John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly, you got my interest.
Julianne Moore, Tom Cruise, Philip Seymour.
Really?
It's got good ratings, apparently.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's legend. Mike Baraball, what's up with the Red Hulk? What about him? He's I haven't seen the new Avengers movie where the new Captain America, I think it was Captain America New World or something like that, where they finally have the Red Hulk, where they've been teasing him ever since the first Hulk movie. But I haven't seen it. But I think they had who played him in the new one? I think it was I don't remember who played it. But yeah, Red Hulk, I don't think Red Hulk doesn't keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger like Green Hulk does. He has his limits. But base level, he's stronger than the Hulk. But Hulk, always gets stronger. And, Thaddeus Ross is the Red Hulk, which is Betty Ross, the Hulk's girlfriend's father. So basically his father-in-law becomes the Red Hulk. His girlfriend becomes the Red She-Hulk. His cousin becomes She-Hulk. But yeah, it's all in the family. But yeah, Red Hulk, I've always liked how Red Hulk looks. He is cool. He really is cool. He has a good part in one of the Spider-Girl comics where I think the Red Hulk kills her dad or something like that, where there's like a rivalry between Red Hulk and one of the Spider-Girls. Hellboy has better jokes. Hellboy's pretty good, yeah. talking superheroes. With great power comes great responsibility. We always got to go in a random nerdy direction. Penny for your thoughts. So what's going on the next few days, HB?
I mean, the past few days?
Yeah, both. What's going on? What happened? What's been going on in the last few days, and what we got planned?
I've just been sick the past couple days. But yeah, I don't have anything planned necessarily. A couple packages to send out to a couple people, and yeah, that's about all.
Yeah, I've just been hyper focused on figuring out, updating my vocabulary a lot on a lot of these mushrooms. Oh, Oreo just said Sin City. I was just thinking about Sin City because Mello was talking about Hellboy, and who else mentioned Hellboy? It's the same actor that played. What's his name? It was before David Harbour played Hellboy. It was the previous actor. Mickey Rourke? I think it maybe is. No, not Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, the actor was saying that he would do it again, make the third one or whatever it is.
Third one of what?
Oh boy.
I'm going to find out who this guy was. I forget. I'm going to be kicking myself as soon as I come up with his name. Yeah, he is played by Mickey Rourke. Okay. Was Mickey Rourke Hellboy? Ron Perlman. I was thinking of Ron Perlman. He played Hellboy, not Mickey Rourke. For some reason, I thought the same actor played both characters, Hellboy and Marv from Sin City. But Ron Perlman and Mickey Rourke are so similar. Well, build wise, but if you look at them in their face, you can tell they're totally different people. But like, they play similar characters. I like Ron Perlman. He's got a personality. But Sin City, when that movie came out, I had already read all of the graphic novels leading up to it, and I was very, very impressed by the movie. That was one of the first times I had ever seen a movie just absolutely nail a comic book or a graphic novel frame for frame. It was like I was rereading the books. It was, I couldn't believe how good they did. It was exact. But Sin City was good. And they really, really typecast everybody in that movie so well. Mickey Rourke was the bad guy in Iron Man 3. He was. With the whips, I forget his bad guy name in that movie. What's that playlist? Some music?
No, it's a Western playlist. It's called Into the Wild Frontier. And they have a couple seasons of it on here on YouTube for free.
Nice.
Through a YouTube channel called Western Bound. It's fucking really badass. It talks about all the fucking Western people who like first explored America, and like Lewis and Clark and John Coulter, and like these people that you probably never heard of, but some of the most badass human beings who've ever walked the face of this fucking earth.
Like,
and they're hardcore.
Like Sam Elliott and James Garner. And
yeah, kind of.
And
so, yeah. Sorry, like really like pioneers of the world, though, you know, like some of the people from like late 1700s, early 1800s.
And John Wayne.
Yeah, kind of.
Making a joke.
A little
John Wayne was a bit of an outdoorsman.
They're like those type of people, though. You're kind of right, because it's like those type of people. Like fucking, I'm out here with a horse and a fucking gun, and I'm fucking going to see what's out there.
Like Barbell, I think he got my joke. But yeah, I'll definitely check this out. I'll try to pull this up right now so I can watch it later. That sounds fun. I grew up watching a lot of old Western movies.
Whenever if I can't find nothing I want to watch, I'll watch that shit. It's so good.
Yeah.
There was all the badasses of history.
There was I guess you call it a historic fiction. It was called Busty Scruggs or something like that. I think it came out on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It was surprisingly good. It was a bunch of short stories. But I grew up watching, like, one of my favorite Western movies when I was a kid was Support Your Local Sheriff with James Garner.
I don't know who the fuck does these, but these are really well done. Like the first one's Daniel Boone, Lewis and Clark, John Coulter, Jim Bridger, Jedediah Smith, Tom Fitzpatrick, Jim Buckworth, Kit Carson. Just like people that if you never heard of them, they're the reason why we are having this conversation right now. They have founded America. And yeah, they stole it from people and all that shit. It's like I'm not on anybody's side. I just think it's an interesting story. Like they're the reasons why we're here. People like them, just like conquering the fucking lands and seeing what's out there. No balls. I mean, not no balls, but like fucking all balls, no fear.
Little House on the Prairie, like Laura was talking about that one day. You know, I grew up watching that stuff, and I used to dream about, you know, coming out to the
woods. It's my life, dude.
Yeah. Just surviving on the land for a little bit and seeing what it's like.
Yeah. That's how I grew up. So to me, it's like home, dude.
The few times I've gone out with just me and like one other person, I get extremely lonely, extremely fast.
Nah, that's shit. This is where you're like free.
yeah, I understand. Yeah. That's what I think I'm going for when I get out there. But when I get out there, it's like, oh shit, like I'm alone and I'm lonely all of a sudden. But
you're not alone. You have you and God. Whatever God you decide to follow.
I like to share my experiences with people while I'm there.
Yeah, but this is the thing I always say, though. You should never do anything that you wouldn't do that if no one can see it. And that is a perfect example of like being out in the woods and just exploring nature. And it's for you.
Sure.
This is what I was talking about before. Like that gift is for you, from the nature for you. It's not for anyone else.
Yeah.
And if you have extra that you can give, like an extra experience or time or whatever, then yeah, you can do that. But sometimes those moments are literally just for you, dude. I do that shit a lot. There's lots of times I do that out in nature, like thinking about taking a picture. I'm like, this shit. It's my moment. I heard that guy talk about that shit whenever he was a photographer. It's like the same kind of concept. I like that. Like, no, this is my moment. It ain't for nobody else. And if you share it, it takes away the meaning of it because everybody can see it. Now it means nothing. Well, if you learn something, you can always take it back with you. Write it in a book and bring it back with you.
That those times when I go out by myself with the small crowds, when I go back and it gets more and more boring each time, and I need to bring fresh people to share it with.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm like, oh, just damn, all I can do is be out here.
And I just feel like, this is so special. I want, and you're special to me. I want to share it with you.
I get it. I mean, I get your sentiment, but people don't appreciate that shit, or else they would do it. You wouldn't have to shove it in their face. And that's like the whole idea of what Ram Dass was talking about leading people into enlightenment. Alan Watts was talking about this in the same concept. It's because, like, if you really want people to be enlightened and see what you see, you just have to lead by example. That's the only way to ever get them to see.
Right. I don't
because the more you try to press your ideas upon someone, then they're never going to see it the way you see
in their face. I feel like I'm presenting an opportunity and they can take it or leave it.
But I feel like if they really wanted that opportunity, they would go get it. They would come to you because they know that you're the guy. They'd be like, "Oh, Nerdy's always out there in the woods." Like, you wouldn't have to ask them. That's what I'm saying. They would just come to you and be like, "You're fucking always out there in the woods. Why don't you take me with you? I want to experience that."
I think it's the
but
same.
If not, they're not going to get the same experience because they're not looking for it.
When it comes to local events, a lot of people don't want to plan, so they don't know where to start, and they kind of need someone to take those first steps and show them the way.
And unfortunately, I talk about this with Magic David a lot. We have this conversation. It's like sometimes everybody's a piece of coal when we start out. Not everyone turns into diamonds. Not every piece of gold or coal turns into diamonds. Some of them just rot away and get burned up or fucking whatever it is. And you have to accept that sometimes people are not meant to shine. They're not meant to be anything more than a sheep in the herd, and you never be able to wake them up out of their dream.
Yeah. I've stopped putting as much importance on that. Trying to force people to wake up, you know?
Yeah. Because what you're talking about is like the same way that I used to be whenever I first did acid for the first time. Like, everybody's got experiences, everybody's got to know it. It's like, that's not going to work, though, man. You have to let people find that shit on their own time, just like how we did. But me, I was born in nature, so it's where I come from. So I have even more of that kind of sentiment than you know what I'm saying? Like, not that you didn't grow up in the country in the South, but like I grew up camping every fucking chance I could get, dude. Where I was always in the woods hunting, shit like that. So whenever I look at other people who are like not into doing that, I'm like, it's like part of life. It's like we've been doing this since John Coulter, Jim Bridger, all these people were walking across the United States, very first foundation of it. When Denver first got founded, I was watching a picture of it the other day.
Right. There was a part of my childhood where my family was homeless and we were basically living from campsite to campsite. And being the age that I was, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was the best. I thought it was the coolest thing that could have happened to me and my family because I'm like, I love camping. But I think that kind of set the bar for me in the rest of my life. And I'm like, I can just go out and do stuff. And I don't think other people look at the world that way. And they don't realize that you can just go out and go camping and go do things and no one's stopping you. Just go do it.
No, you're right, dude. I think the same shit. But people will make excuses and people will, have assumptions and expectations. And then whenever it doesn't go the way they plan, they'll never do it again because, not every camping trip is going to be freaking great. Right. Some of them are really messy, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of them are just get rained on and dumped on the whole time.
It's horrible. You're out there, you're like, I'm never doing this again.
and you know what? And same thing with forays. Like I've gone out in forays and we brought big crowds of people and we just get dumped on the whole time. But at the same time, those forays were some of the best ones. I've found some of my best discoveries on those forays because we didn't give up. And I'm like, on the way back to the car and we're just soaking wet, just tripping over the rocks, just trying to stay up. It's like, I find one more thing. And I'm like, that turned out to be a new discovery that it's only been sequenced 1 or 2 times ever. And I'm like, that's so cool. I finally found something nice on this trip. And here it is. It makes it worth it. And those difficult times, it makes it like you earned it too. It makes it feel a little better too, I think, when you earn it.
Yeah.
When you those difficult times give your better times more context too. We should definitely plan a camping trip soon. Like, let me know where you're going to be, and maybe we should go. Try to find some mushrooms.
Well, generally where I am.
Yeah, up in
the general area.
If you're going to be in that area, maybe we could try to find some morels or something soon, because morel season's almost upon us. And I need to get some people from Fort Collins to go out into those mountains, because that's where we need more sequences done and more observations. I need to know what's out there west of Fort Collins. There's not a lot of people documenting it. I've been like obsessing over the entire state of Colorado and people are seeing and what's actually been DNA sequenced. And I'm starting with the stuff that's been DNA sequenced. I'm like, all right, this is the stuff that we know for a fact is here in the state. But then some of them's labeled with like the original name that we thought it was, but now we have like a new version that's in Colorado because we've got it DNA sequenced. So now I'm trying to juggle provisional names, and like turns out we don't have this mushroom in Colorado, but or this version is only in the Front Range and the plains, but not in the mountains. It's actually the original. It's all confusing and like the wires are getting crossed, but I love this stuff.
Yeah, we're about 8,000 feet where I'm sitting right now.
Nice. We can find some great stuff at those elevations. And I know you got some good rocks where you're at too.
I asked him about ginseng. We need to try to look in to see if we could find it here. Apparently, it's only like an alpine, or sorry, an Appalachian mountain range thing.
Way out east, kind of like Pawpaw. Pawpaw only exists,
but that doesn't mean that it won't grow.
Right, the climate's changing,
so it probably could grow it. I don't know.
And that's something I was watching a presentation by Dr. Amy Honan, famous mycologist that I might be working with in the near future. She's been talking about how the climate in Colorado has been changing rapidly, and that's also changing our habitats for mushrooms. But yeah.
Well, the Appalachian Mountains have been around since Pangea.
Yeah.
That's what I was reading yesterday. The fact about that John Denver song, "Country Road," where he talks about how the mountains are, it's older than the tree, or what is it? How is it? Older than the trees or younger than the mountains, whatever the fuck he says. But it's literally true, because those mountain ranges have been there like since Pangea. Since the universe was like all one continent, basically. Not the universe, but
I believe the Appalachian Mountains, excuse me if I'm not pronouncing it right, is way older than the Rockies.
Yeah, they are. That's what I'm saying. They've only recently been formed. Past like what? I don't even know. Let's speak out of pocket, but not as recent as
where I live in Denver. It was all underwater at that time. Like we had this huge intercontinental seaway that went right up against the Rocky Mountains, like right up there against Morrison, where Red Rocks is at. That was like the beach. That's why it's all sandstone and such. But like, yeah, that's why we actually have some dinosaur footprints and stuff over in that area. But yeah, out here in the plains, like Kansas, that was all bottom of the ocean. It wasn't until it all drained out. But yeah, it's really, really fascinating. Deep history. I love that stuff. I love going to the museums out here. Oh, Bigfoot and Wolfman and Skinwalkers. Mello knows what's up. Yep. Ohio's great for foraging, ginseng, pawpaws, yellow root. Do great here. Yellow root. What is yellow root? You heard of that one, HB?
Never heard of that. Not at least in that phrase. There's a lot of times different names for herbs.
Yellow root's making me think OSHA, but I thought OSHA is exclusively like a high elevation medicinal plant. I think it's yellow. I would love some clarification on the yellow root.
It's called yellow root. Historically used by Native Americans for yellow dye. I don't think I've ever heard of this.
Yeah, this is a new one for me.
It's good for anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, support digestive health, reduce inflammation, improve gut flora, enhance liver function. It's like a detox herb. It's a bitter tonic for digestive issues, inflammation. It's basically just like a digestive, anti-inflammatory and detox.
Xanthorrhiza simplicissima. Yellow root.
Yeah, it says it grows all in the south.
New one. It's cool. Thanks for
Stretching
mentioning that,
from
Joe.
New York to Louisiana, apparently, down into Texas.
Really?
Pretty cool, yeah.
I wonder if that grows in Colorado. I'm gonna look it up now.
No.
I gotta know. No.
No. It looks like it might can, but it's not native here.
Yeah. We have a lot of non-native species growing here. Like, what was that one I was thinking of? Mullein. Mullen's a big one. It's not native, but it grows everywhere. Like everywhere. And I've been noticing a lot of chicory growing everywhere too, and that's not native. Some things that iNaturalist helps you with. Don't forget to use your iNaturalist, kids. Upload those pictures. Get your observations in. Help science. Help researchers like me, find out what's in their local area. I'm actually compiling a list of the most rare fungi in Colorado, so I can try to target those ones throughout this next summer and try to fill in some of those gaps for our taxons. I've been finding a lot of dark taxa, so mushrooms that haven't been described yet, but we have DNA for them. There's so many in Colorado, but really, really hoping to be doing some big work in that area this summer. Trying not to count my chickens before they hatch, but I'm getting excited. I'm trying to study, trying to level up as fast as I can. There aren't a lot of people doing the work. And you can count them on iNaturalist. There's about 86 of us. But just because they're on that list doesn't mean they've got a lot of work. Some people have only submitted 1 or 2 things. But it's interesting how I keep seeing the same names popping up on the people that are discovering the new things. There's only a handful of us that are actually making new discoveries.
Yep, that's exactly my point, Nerdy. Even when the doors are wide open, people won't even go for it. That's why I love the saying that one guy says, I can put you in the wheel and they still won't. I mean, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, literally the door be wide open, they have every opportunity, and it's right there in front of their face. All they have to do is go out there and get it, and they still won't do it. Sometimes you just can't force people. It's sad, but it is what it is. Kind of like, that's what I was saying. It's like, to me, it's freeing. It's like we don't have to worry about bumping our shoulders and like fighting anybody over it or like getting in ideology battles or any of that shit. Just go out there and do it. It's wide open. Plenty enough room for us all.
Watch out for those moose.
And then some. Or whatever's out there.
Yeah. Moose, mountain lions, bears. The bears aren't as big of a threat as the moose. Those moose are fucking creepy. They're very aggressive. Very aggressive moose. They don't mess around. Joe D's. Let's see. Morels. Found those. Berries of all sorts. Eaten those. Black walnuts you can eat. We got those in Kansas. I know a few people that have black walnut trees in Kansas. They're good walnuts. Chicken of the woods had those. Chanterelles had those.
I don't know about Kansas, but in South Carolina we had them growing up.
Yeah, we got all that stuff in Colorado too. Just not sure if black walnut is native to Colorado.
Well, it's probably not native to America at all.
Ooh, yeah, I do need to do that, Laura. We need to do a whole show dedicated to iNaturalist. That would be nice. I'm trying to hyper focus on Colorado right now, but that would be really, really beneficial for everybody to know iNaturalist because it really, really is. It's the future of many of these sciences, fungi, flora, and fauna.
Yeah, they used to use it to make black dye.
Mellow, yes. You can do that. If you have iNaturalist, you can take pictures of your mushroom. Preferably, you get a picture of it in its actual setting, which is in vitro. You zoom out. You want to just see just a few mushrooms off in the distance, so you can see what it looks like where it was growing, so people can actually get as much information as we can. Then get a close up of the top of the cap, close up of the side. Get like a knife or a trowel and dig underneath the mushroom and just wedge it out of the ground so you get the whole stipe or stem, and get the whole mushroom out and try to get a picture of several different ages lined up so that you can get all of the details of the mushroom you can. Reach out to me as soon as you get an iNaturalist account. I would love to follow your account so whenever you upload something, I can see it. And I would love to give my input and help you identify whatever you find. I can probably help get down to genus most of the time, but not a guarantee. It's hard to get down to species, but a lot of them I just know just by seeing it. I don't need a lot of details, but some of them you absolutely need spore prints to get it ID'd properly. But there's also websites. Yes, iNaturalist is an app and a website. And it's not mushrooms only. It is plants, animals, fungi, lichen. Lichen is kind of considered fungi, but it's different. But yeah, so iNaturalist has all of that stuff. And I am a iNaturalist ambassador, so one of my things I do is I go out and teach people about it, and how to make better listings. And there's also a company out there called Mycota, and it's mycota.com, not org. And that's where I think it's a lab in Ohio. You can send them your mushroom samples. If your state is in their program right now, Colorado is, you can dry your mushroom sample, print out a voucher slip, send it into them, and they will give you a DNA sequence back. So you know exactly what you have in your hands. I like to keep extra mushrooms in my tubs. So I only send in one out of like 5 samples that I collected from that group. So that way, when I find out what it is, I can then either cultivate it or, explore, study it further under a microscope or whatever I need to do with it. But yeah, so now I'm starting to look into undiscovered species in Colorado. I want the rarer the better, and I want to try to figure out what's out there. And we're working on trying to figure out how to get a grant, and we'll be getting paid to do the work. But if you want a website that's just mushrooms, there's a website called Mushroom Observer. I don't remember if it's .org or .com, but Mushroom Observer is another website that you can use, and Mycota accepts submissions, but you have to upload pictures so that they have a place to submit their DNA sequences once they've got it completed. They need a place to actually submit the information. So that's one of the reasons why iNaturalist is so important, because every mushroom I encounter, I've got a separate listing, a separate observation on it. And whenever the sequences come in, they just update my listing, and bing, bang, boom, the scientists are happy, and I get to help. It helps further my research too. But the one thing that iNaturalist doesn't cover that I've been noticing there's been a lot of requests for, and they have no plans of covering, is minerals. So since it's not alive or wasn't once alive, they don't really care about it. Yes, and it sounds like that's going to be on the agenda coming up. Laura, that's a good idea. Mello, I think I can do that. I will plan, I don't know when, but I'll try to plan a show where I actually walk you guys through on, I'm a mushroom guy, so I will explain how to make a good mushroom observation, and also cover where to send it and how to get your voucher slips and things like that. I think it'll be a great idea to cover that. And if you find a new one, Mello's asking, if you find a new one, do you get to name it? I don't know what the rules are for naming it, but generally speaking, if you find a new mushroom, you're the first person, I think you get naming rights. Other than that, I think the scientists kind of just like they get suggestions from the DNA sequencing machines because like it's more closely related to this mushroom, so they give it a name similar to what it's like. But I think whoever writes the first paper on it gets to name it. I think that's the rule. And I think anybody can write a paper and publish it if they've got a website or a publishing agency. But yeah, that would be a good show. I think that we should definitely do that. All right, looks like we've been going for an hour and 19 minutes. HB fell off. That's okay. I'll touch base with him in a little bit. So sure, you could just point your phone at your computer and we'll have fun. I can share the screen. I'm sure I can just share the screen. And I can send you. I can show you guys some of my old observations, some of the new discoveries, like the banana russula, and some of these new mycenas and things like that we've been discovering. It's a lot of really cool stuff. And a lot of debate happens on this website because anybody can guess. If you upload a picture, anybody that's on the iNaturalist website can say, I think it's this. And if they're wrong, it kind of throws off your, because you need like at least 2/3 people agreeing on what that thing is in order to get it to be research grade. And that's everybody wants it to be research grade. But when it comes to mushrooms, there's so many more things you can do. You can take pictures of the spores, you can get microscopy pictures, and just there's a lot of things, a lot of checkboxes you can check to make sure that you know exactly what that mushroom is. But DNA sequence, there's no questioning it. You know what it is. Yeah, that would be cute. I kind of want to name a mushroom after my late dog. I think that would be neat. Like Boletus Albertii or something like that. I noticed a lot of mushrooms are named after people. I think there's so many mushroom names, and there's just so many more that still need to be named. It's kind of crazy. It's very likely if you try hard enough, you could probably name your own mushroom. All right. Well, I think it's getting a little late. We've been at this for about an hour and 21 minutes. I'm gonna call it a night, everybody. I love y'all. Super profundo on the early eve of your night. Have a good